for her remarks. Okay. And I want a special thanks. Bring out Nina. Where's Nina? Nina, you're up. She's back there. But Nina has been running all over this country, doing maybe the most important work that anybody can do. And that is she has been getting people, often young people, people of color, but all people, involved in the political process to retake our democracy and tell corporate America they will not continue to own this country. Now, in a few minutes, I'm going to bore you to death with a long speech, but I have to tell you why I'm running for president and why we've got to win this election. But before I do that, I want to do something that actually I have never done before. And that is, I know that in Iowa, and in fact in Vermont, which as all of you know is a very rural state, but all over this country, rural communities are really hurting. We're seeing family farmers going out of business every day. We're seeing schools shut down or consolidate. We're seeing an incredible concentration of ownership in agriculture. We're seeing fewer and fewer processes controlling one sector of agriculture after another. We're seeing people from outside of the United States buying more and more agricultural property in this country. Now, coming from a rural state, I happen to believe that the rural way of life is a good way of life. And there's something to be said about knowing everybody in town. You can have, with proper funding, we can have great schools. With the new technology, small schools can be plugged into Harvard University and get any course that the kids want. We can have good rural health care. We can and must have broadband in every community in this country. And I don't know how a community in Iowa or Vermont attracts small businesses if you don't have good cell phone service, if you don't have good broadband. We got to do that as well. But this issue of the decline of rural America, the fact that something like 60% of rural counties in this country are now depopulating, is a crisis that we have got to deal with. And I promise you that during this campaign, we are going to talk about it a whole lot. And we are going to develop a policy and a set of programs. And this is tough stuff. I mean, there's no magical solution. But this is an issue that has to be dealt with, and we will deal with it. We've got some people beginning to do some good research on it. I want to do something, though, that I've never done really before, and I want to bring up somebody here, because this issue is so important that I want to bring up Dr. John Eichert. I don't know if any of you know John. And I want John to kind of frame the issue, talk about what is going on for a few minutes, and what he thinks we should be doing. And after he speaks, I'll get the mic back, and then we can talk about how we're going to transform this country, not only rural America, but the entire country. So let me introduce John Eichert. John.
I really appreciate this opportunity. Many of you I'm not unfamiliar here in Fairfield. I want to start by saying I grew up on a small family farm down in southwest Missouri. I was fortunate enough to be able to go to the University of Missouri, and I was educated as an agricultural economist. And after I got my PhD, I went out and worked for 30 years in 4 different agricultural colleges at large land-grant universities. The first half of that academic career, I was a promoter of industrial agriculture, factory farms, things of this nature. I thought as an economist that if we made agriculture more economically efficient, it was going to be good not only for the farmers that we created opportunities, it'd be good for rural communities, You know, it would be good for the land, farmers could afford to take care of the land, and everything was going to be great. And most important, we were going to make good food affordable for everyone. We were going to eliminate hunger. During the 1980s, I began to question that because I was at the University of Georgia at that time, and that was the middle of the farm financial crisis, and we were working with farmers, and the farmers were losing their farms because of record high interest rates and large debts that had been put upon them, and the farmers that were in the biggest trouble were the ones that had been doing what we so-called experts had been advising them to do. They had gotten big rather than get out, and now they were losing their farms. That wasn't the kind of agriculture that I set out to create. That wasn't the kind of environment I set out to create. The farmers not only didn't want to leave the land, and we assumed that farming was drudgery and they'd go somewhere else and find a better living, but they didn't. And some of them committed suicide when they lost those farms that had been to them. And I said, there's something fundamentally wrong. It wasn't working for family farmers. It wasn't working for the rural communities that depended upon those farm families. And only later I discovered it wasn't working for the land, the pollution of agriculture, of the environment, the water and the air with agricultural, biological, and chemical waste. It wasn't working for anyone, so I had to fundamentally change. I've come to the conclusion over the years of moving in a fundamentally different direction that what was happening then and what is happening now is the economic colonization of our rural areas all across this country. What we're seeing is the rural areas are treated like economic colonies where we bring in outside investments, convince the people that they can't develop their own communities and their own economies. Bring in the outside investment, that the outside investors basically extract the wealth from rural areas. They pollute the environment, they degrade the quality of the land. And when the family farmers are forced off of the land, then the rural communities dry up and die of the towns. It takes people, not just production and profits, to support rural communities. It takes people to shop on Main Street. It takes people not to just buy agricultural supplies, but to buy shoes and clothes and haircuts and things of this nature. And it takes people to keep the schools open. It takes people to be on volunteer fire departments and do other things. And we basically are extracting and exploiting the wealth of rural communities, and it's going to a handful of multinational corporations that increasingly control agriculture. What we must have is a fundamental change in farm policy to support a sustainable agriculture that restores local control, that allows people agricultural policies that don't subsidize and support the industrialization and exploitation of rural communities, that support people that have those traditional values of family farmers, that farming is not just a business, it's a way of life, and that farmers can be good members of community and good stewards of the land when they have the economic means to do so. Today has that kind of commitment and the kind of persistence that is our best hope for fundamentally changing farm policy, rural policy, and fundamentally restoring the integrity, the social and economic and ecological integrity to our rural areas. Thank you,
John. I asked John to speak about 8 minutes ago, so that's pretty good. This is an issue that we're going to stay on, because this is an issue not just for Iowa, not just for Vermont. This is an issue for rural America. Yes. We are going to stop the decline of rural America, and we're going to work together to do that. And, before I get going, I also